Welcome back, fellas. Domination tips. I got invited by Pavel 1, I think, to Ukraine Ukrop. And that's pretty funny because during my time at Teletubbies, in my alliance, so-called, we already fought, I think, 1 or even 2 times against Ukraine Ukrop. And now I got invited, which is pretty fine, pretty nice. I was not completely getting the point whether Pavel only invited me for a base review or to participate in the alliance and probably go into the World War with them. But I quite understood it only to raid some base layouts. Therefore, I already searched his alliance and at my base I don't have any more interesting things to tell. You can see 12 days and 5 hours for the first forest and 15 days, 18 hours for the last forest, because I will need all of my citizens for the nation change. I'm very interested in starting the town center hall upgrade, which is lasting 12 days, in 3 days and exactly 18 hours, which will mean that the last forest and the town center upgrade will be finished at the same time, and therefore I can have all of my citizens changing my nation and then perfectly starting with upgrading all interesting buildings such as the Tactic, the War Academy, the Library, the Blacksmith and the Oil Refinery right in the global age to get a pretty decent start with upgrading my offensive power. In the library, my next research is getting finished, and then I will look for, I have 3 days and 18 hours, I will look for another research, which will last for less than 3 days and 18 hours, because I will also need the citizens. So that's about the base update. The World War is pretty much one we were in, but it was also quite not that, stressful World War when we look at the glory count in total. I messed up at the enemy number 1, like you probably know. My second attack was at enemy number 2, and I did some kind of experiment. Ordinary only attacking with a bunched army, with a bunch of army which I'm rallying at a specific area, then dropping protect and all of my tactics on it. And now I tried even a 50% approach to get the 50% victory, not rallying at all, and this is quite completely another aspect. I think I will do one of my next World War attacks with 50% approach, also in English, to explain it to you. Also, I have to do another frequently asked questions video. I got so many questions, but guys, today I have several projects running, and I'm not pretty sure whether it's in your interest that I'm producing that many videos, because I feel like most of you are even unable to watch all of the videos, and therefore I also I want to avoid producing more than one video, probably more than 2 videos a day. It's better to have one video every 2 days or one video per day. I quite don't know whether you think the same way. You can give me a comment about this topic. So also my time at dritte Halbzeit, so third half, is quite limited. After this World War in approximately 45 minutes in the end, I will say goodbye. It was a very nice time over here. Thank you for all impressions I gained, and then I will go on to the next alliance, which will be probably, I'm pretty sure it is One for All, another German alliance, but I'm not pretty sure. We will see later on. Let's get to Ukraine Ukrop. Hello, Ukraine Ukrop. Oh, I'm unable to read this. I could try to translate it with Google Translator, but I'm a little bit lazy now. Hopefully Pavel or another one which is able to read this will give me a short translation. Probably below the video. We can see 43 alliance members, so not completely filled, but nevertheless a quite big alliance. Language. Oh, let's change. No, we don't need to change the language. It's only a base review video. Language of the alliance is obviously, I think, Ukrainian, Russian, Cyrillic, I don't know. Rules only by invitation. So they are only taking guys which they want to have. They have no open recruitment. Minimum or medals will be about 500, which is pretty low. So they are also accepting, wow, like we do, lower accounts. They are not only limiting on high level accounts, so they want to give lower players the opportunity to grow in their alliance. We have 12,964 in total medal count, which is not pretty high, but that is also no concerning aspect. But we have 20,601 glory points, which means they should be among the top 100 currently. I'm not sure, let's see. 20,600. Oh, that will be... Ah, no. No. Oh no, they are even not in the top 100, but they are definitely one of the alliances which are fluctuating between the top 100. Sometimes in, sometimes out, I meant. Let's look at the ages. We have level 191, so pretty obvious, nearly global age maxed. And then I think if they are not rushed from the level only, I think pretty many industrial guys. Industrial. Here we seem to have some enlightenment ages. Gunpowders, medieval, even some classical ages. Oh, okay, and some very low ages in total. Let's look at the medals. 2,500 medals. So Arjuna is obviously going for some medal count, but I think all of the others, Dimadvid is probably changing, lowering his medal count, or even trying to go for medals. But all of the others seem to be in some common regions, just between 2,000 and 1,000 medals. So nothing special in total. Let's see about the activity grade or status. Oh, okay. 159 days off, 156, okay, so we have very many accounts which are not online anymore for a several time of a day, but we pretty much cannot call them inactive because I don't think that these accounts are getting played. This is part of the World War strategy. Over here we have a level 127er, pretty inactive. 13 days is very much. Probably he's in some holidays or vacations. 3 days off is also a little bit critical in my opinion, but that's a personal choice. 2 days off and then 18 hours and all others only below or even active. That's pretty okay. Let's look at the lifetime donations. 51,000 is very much, and we see it's getting separated or not separated. They are sharing this amount. So 2 players are highly engaged. All of the others are 20,000, 10,000. So very many donators over here. This looks pretty good. So I think we have everything. Let's search for Pavel and let's see what other players we could just visit. I think Slava, whatever it's his name, I will call him Bro. Dimadvid also probably, and see where's the leader. Arjuna, yeah, Arjuna will definitely look at because of the high donation lifetime donations, which is a very good indicator for activity stage. And here we have Pavel, which we got invited by. So hello Pavel at this point, and let's see your base, my friend. Yeah, here we are, industrial age player. Let me see. Okay, so we have 2 town centers. One Forbidden City, so 1 main town center, 1 Forbidden City. Both are exposed. Obviously, resource protection layout. Let's look about the localization and the spread out. Localization is quite okay. We have the gold very central, a little bit, one of the markets a little bit to the left. Food is also very central, very central. And so the localization is quite okay. We have 1 chamber with 2 resource buildings, another chamber also with 2. Here we have also 2. The trade goods are very unprotected, I think. They are completely exposed by attackers from here. Also the command post is pretty exposed. In total, I'm not quite sure whether it's distorting, but it seems to me like he has not placed all of his walls. I'm not pretty sure. So it obviously it can be distorting, but it looks like this would be less walls than it would be available for the industrial age. Maybe I'm wrong. Rusher or Maxa. So no, spread out. I forgot about the spread out. If we are attacking from down here, but I think he wants to make us attack from here because we have also the Versailles and a very suspicious free space over here. So I think the protection of the resources from here is not that bad. If we are attacking from any other sides, I think that is also a pretty decent protection. Yeah, that seems to work. Russia or even Maxa. I see most of the buildings industrial stage, only some in the Enlightenment age. Gunpowder also, we have 1 garrison over here. but most of the buildings are, some gunpowder garrisons. I see many players not caring for only all of his garrisons, except for one which is even only medieval. I see many players not caring for garrisons, and I can only say I also don't care that much for garrisons, because garrison defenders are probably the worst defenders we have. So if you want to skip something, then you can skip them. But all of the other buildings are quite Enlightenment Age or Industrial. So he don't seems to be a rusher, but he seems to be some kind of maxer, which is not maxing everything, but the most important things before he's going up for the next age. Activity index. First we see at his houses, where we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I only can see 7 houses. Is this possible? 7 houses, I think so. These are 14 people to progress in the age. It's quite okay. Let's see at his walls. We have level 11, level 12, and even level 13 walls. Wow, that's definitely strong, my friend. So on average, I would call your walls 12 minus, a little bit below 12. But this is very strong. I see only a couple of players, which it feels like I only see a couple of players which have their walls that high in the Industrial Age. I think your defensive logs will estimate or emphasize what I said, what I recently told. Yeah, the walls are pretty good. What is with the gates? We have one level, I think this is level 13 gate. Yeah, you are Industrial Age, it can't be level 14. All of the other gates seem to be level, I'm not pretty sure, level 30, level 12? Yes, it must be a level 12 vault. So, in my opinion, you could upgrade your gates. Did I say walls? I meant the gates, guys. You can upgrade your gates anymore. But I think you already started, because 2 of them are upgraded and the others not. So if you upgrade your gates, I think this is a pretty decent of your walls, a pretty decent state of progress. Defensive buildings, where we have them, we start with the mortars like always and ever. We have one mortar at the very central location in his base. One is very exposed at 6 o'clock. Then we have another mortar at 11 and probably at 13 o'clock. In total, I think 3 of the mortars are pretty exposed, and they are that far away from each other that they cannot protect. So if I would have to attack at this base, I would, it's only an example, start from this side, waiting until my troops are next to the mortar or in range, then waiting until the redoubt is away, because it's a pretty danger to my troops, and then rally on the mortar. And before the next mortar can shoot, I think the rally cooldown is already away, and you can rally outside again and do the same trick at the next mortar. Except for this mortar in center, which is his highest mortar. I think the other mortars are not that good protected from the outer wall, but we have cannon towers everywhere, except for over here. So this mortar is quite okay protected, but I don't understand why the cannon tower is that much to the inner side of the base. The range of the cannon tower is, like you probably all know, lower than just one of the than the range of the mortar. So I would place the cannon tower a little bit further to the wall. Over here we have also a cannon tower which is exposed, but which is in a quite good location to the mortar. In total, I don't like the mortar locations that much, because over here we have quite no cannon tower at all, and 3 of the mortars are easily to get from the outside. On top of that, we have also the opportunity to place 1 sabotage over here and get a tank depot in combination with two mortars. Air defenses, where we have the air defenses. 1, 2, 3 air defenses, all are upgraded. That's very strong, because air defense, especially from Industrial Age upwards, is a very important aspect about every base. We have one air defense more or less defended inside some walls. All of the other air defenses are pretty much unprotected. So I think in combination with the towers, in total the air defense is not bad of the base. But if an enemy attacker is just focusing on them, the air defenses will fall very early. And then the bases, especially I think over here, when the tower and the air defense has fallen, especially over here, very unprotected. Redoubts, where we have the redoubts. They are minor aspects, but I want to mention them nevertheless, because some guys are focusing on them. 1, 2, 3. All readouts are not upgraded, so Enlightenment 80 stage. I also upgraded my readouts nearly as the last buildings. The locations of the readouts. In total, I don't like the locations very much because they are placed not at the corners but at the edges of a base, and we have no gates in the surrounding, so no troops will fluctuate over here, so the enemy troops will not getting drawn into. If you are not placing them at strategical points, like in the direct surrounding of some tank depots or garrisons or next to some gates where your troops will fluctuate during a defense, then I think you can just completely expose them, because then they have quite or nearly no central aspect in defending your base. Yeah, so I think these places are pretty much wasted, nearly. This location is a little bit, it's quite okay, I would call, because we have an edge over here, a corner over here, not an edge, a corner over here, and so troops could run into, but in total I don't like the locations of all readouts. Where we have the bunkers. Over here and over here. So both bunkers are protected, that's very nice. They are inside the walls, and even this bunker is very hard to reach from the outside, I think, only from here and from here. And if you have your bunkers protected, they will keep on spawning heavy tanks, which are useful for your defense, but as you also probably know, especially enemies which are using betrayal are focusing on your heavy tanks, and so you have to make sure that the bunkers which are inside your walls are not getting your own enemies by a betrayal tactic. Therefore you have to place some cannon towers next to them, and he did perfectly. We have one wall between over here and over here not, but we have definitely 2 cannon towers directly next to the bunkers, which is perfect to protect them. So in total I can't criticize anything about the bunkers. The sniper tower, only one, industrial age. We have the sniper tower, but I quite don't like the location. It's very, very exposed to the outer side. So, for example, I would intend to attack from over here at the space, trying to not use any tactics at all, and then get rid of the sniper tower very early. I think a more central location for the sniper tower can be a harder pain in the ass for enemy attackers. World Wonders, we have the Forbidden City, quite no defense. Defense meaning, if we are only talking about resource protection, Brandenburg Gate, quite the same. Then we have Versailles, we will talk about, and where's the last World Wonder? Over here, Stonehenge. So only Versailles to talk about. Versailles is slowing down enemies at a decent or at a specific, in a specific location, which you quite cannot destroy by destroying the Versailles itself. So over here, enemies will get slowed down, and also this suspicious free space over here seems to have some traps in it, because it's very easy to get from over here to his resource buildings, and we see his highest walls all together accumulated up at this point. So it's very obvious that he tries to make enemy attacks from over here, but that's quite not bad, trying to steer the enemies into some traps. And I think also the Versailles location is not that bad. He's not using any bugs. Yeah, he is not upgrading his street. So the street is I'm not sure. It's hard to differentiate between Enlightenment and Gunpowder Age, but he's only level 151, so he's even below my level. I think it's Gunpowder stage, so the space is actually far higher than it looks like. Yeah, at least let's talk about the exploration, and we see I would call it many forests. We have more than one complete line, nearly 2 complete lines of forest to explore anymore. And I think in relation to other Industrial Age players, that's not a very huge progress on explorations. You can definitely invest a little bit more in them, but in total I think it's enough for your base currently. But if you are getting more buildings, you are seeing over here you have some space, but all of the other buildings are very close together. So in total, I don't think that this is a bad base, especially because of the high effort he obviously put inside his walls. He also pretty much thought about how to protect his resources senseful. I would invest a little bit more in your air defenses, because especially this air defense is nearly donated to the enemy, so he can easily destroy it for free. I would also think about your redoubts, because placing them in the current locations has quite no sense. I would think about whether to replace them with some air defenses. The mortars you could also locate a little bit more to the center, probably changing them with the gold market, for example. Yeah, then you can also sabotage 2 mortars with 1 sabotage tactic, but then you have even a better localization for your resource buildings, because you have in this chamber only 1 resource building and then in this chamber another resource building, and the mortars are better protected. But in total, I would definitely say this is one of the better base layouts we have seen so far. Let us go on to the next alliance member. Here we are at Arjuna, global age player, level 152, so pretty suspicious that he is that low on his level and that obviously far upgraded in his defenses. We also see another exposed town center. I also think he is Korean, like Pavel. We already scouted, or not scouted, we already rated his base. And we have another resource protection layout over here. Let's go for the localization. We have a very good localization of all resources, I think. But I see 2 of his mills are very exposed. I don't know why. But if we are only talking about localization, we have even, except for the oil refinery and 1 gold market, no of the... over here also, the trade house and the market. But otherwise we have no storage buildings with more than 1 storage building within 1 chamber. That's pretty okay. The localization is also good. We have spread out the spread out is also good. We have gold at the left side, center, and at the right side of the base. What is a little bit confusing to me, why he's protecting 1 of his mills, but 2 of the other mills not, and even 1 of his mills so obviously placed to the outer side, so you can very easy take this mill. Just only place some of your raiders or even infantry guys next to the mill, and you will get, I don't know, about 50 up to 150,000 of food. And I think you don't have to donate your food that easy to enemy attackers. Next are our defensive buildings. No. Russia or even Maxer. I think he is some kind of strategical Russia. We have some very, in my opinion, the mortars are very important, and 3 of his mortars are Enlightenment Age stage, which is definitely improvable. So he rushed pretty much to upgrade important buildings of his defense. We see 3 upgraded tank depots, very highly upgraded air defenses. But he also put a little bit less focus on some of his other troops, some of his other buildings, and therefore we see relative low mortars over here. So I think we can definitely call him a rusher, which means nothing negative, but it's just only a fact. In activity index, where are the houses? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 houses, 7, 8 houses. Pretty perfect. All houses, I think. I see no estate, I think. No estate. Okay, so 16 citizens. To go for the walls, for example, and his walls are level 8 and level 9. So if we are comparing with other globals, this is even not standard of some gunpowder ages in my alliance. So I think you are pretty below the average, very much even below the average. Defense buildings. Okay, so mortars first. We have 1 mortar at the very outer side, but it is getting upgraded. So placing the in upgrade, the buildings which are in upgrade currently, so which have no defensive meaning at the outer side, is quite a useful way. I'm also using this, but in total I cannot see where he ordinary placed them. Probably somewhere over here to make it more symmetric, I don't know. But let's rate the mortars which are quite inside the base. And the mortars we are seeing, I don't like the positions. They are very, very, very exposed. So if you are attacking from over here, I don't even think that you have to rally. When the factory is fallen and also the airstrip, no matter whether a heavy tank is spawning, the mortar will be killed until he could nearly kill any of the troops which is spawning. Same nearly over here with this mortar and over here. So I think the mortars in this base are pretty weak, or the locations, better to say, are pretty weak. And the compensation of weaknesses, I also can't see them, because the cannon towers, where are they? 1, 2. Where are the other ones? Guys, am I blind? 3? Okay, 3. but I can only see 3 cannon towers, 4 cannon towers. Probably he has not built. Oh, here, over here, the 5th cannon tower. So all of the 5 cannon towers I can see, but I can't understand the locations. Why has he placed them so close or so much to the center of his base? Probably to protect the oil against raiders. Yeah, that could be. But I don't like these positions at the very inner side of the base because cannon towers have a very low range, so they can only shoot in this base when the enemies are inside the walls, and then they are getting smashed within seconds. So these bows are pretty wasted. This one is nearly okay. This one is getting upgraded, and I don't understand this location in total. Probably for some guys which are aiming for the town center, but I would not care in total. But let's see, Arjuna is at 2000 whatever, 1900, 2000 medals. No, I think he was at 2500 probably. So he's playing resource protection. Ah, okay, he's at 2500 medals. So he has a peace treaty nearly for all of the time. So he can also place his mills that much to the outer side. So it makes it a little bit less bad that his mills are that much exposed, because he cannot rob that often, because enemies are always focusing for the town center. There it's also understandable that he has some defensive buildings over here to make it more hard to get the quick victory. Okay, that was my fault of not recognizing. But in total, I don't like the positions of his cannon towers because we have no. And when I say no, I mean definitely no. 0.0 compensation of weaknesses with the mortars. So the mortars are not protected by cannon towers and otherwise around. That's sad, I think. Air defenses. I already mentioned we have 2 air defenses very highly upgraded. So global age max. 2 air defenses which are industrial age basic stage. But in total, I think the air defense locations are very good. We have 3 of them at the inner side of the base, protected with some walls and very spread out in the base. In total, I think the air defense in this base is very high, very strong, so can destroy enemy planes easily. Then we have the redoubts. 2 are placed next to the town center. I think we should have 4. 3. Probably he has not built it. 4. Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4 air defenses, 2 ones at gunpowder stage, 2 ones at enlightenment stage. This location over here, you can call it quite okay because it's at the corner. This redoubt is next to a gate, so you can also accept it. And these both redoubts are next to the town center only to protect. In total, I'm not a fan of these redoubt positions, but he also seems to not focus on them because otherwise they would be upgraded far more. Bunkers, we have 2 bunkers, both not upgraded, so very, very low bunker defense, heavy tank defense. Also his factories, when he has researched I think he has the resistance chapter probably, then also the factories are only spitting out some very low heavy tanks, probably to make it more unattractive for enemy attackers to take the heavy tanks with betrayal. In my opinion, I would even do the same, and I will do the same when I'm going to Global Age. First, upgrading all of my tank depots, because tank depots are far more a pain in the ass for enemy attackers, and enemy attackers nearly at no time. I haven't seen ever that enemies are taking ordinary tanks with some betrayal, and when you have only low upgraded bunkers, so the heavy tanks which will spawn can be overwhelmed if enemies are taking them with betrayal, and if enemies are not taking them with betrayal, they are only helping you in the base. So upgrading the bunkers before upgrading the tank depots is very, very bad for your base, I would call. The positions of the bunkers, one is at the very, very, very inner side. It's nearly the core of the base. And one is at the outer side, but nevertheless protected and inside the walls. In total, I can only say I dislike both positions or both locations very hard, because we have no cannon towers in total. And if the enemy sneaks in heavy tank, at the inner side of your base, it can deal severe damage to your complete base. So I can only, neglect. I don't know whether it's the right word. I can only recommend put the cannon towers in some other locations so that they are defending against betrayal to your bunkers, or put your bunkers more to the outer side or even completely outside. Then we have the sniper tower. We have 2 sniper towers, one at the probably very inner side, nearly the core over here of the base, and one is next to the town center. I think this one at the town center is too exposed. You could replace it with the house or even the command post, I don't know, but it's at the very outer side, so pretty much exposed. I also think most of the enemies will attack from over here. This one is good protected, and it's also sensible to have your higher upgraded sniper tower more protected than the lower upgraded. The position of the second sniper tower is okay. I would prefer taking it more to the core of the base, but it's definitely acceptable. Sorry. World wonders. We have the Acropolis to mention, the Versailles to mention, and no other building to mention. The Acropolis is quite to the inner side of the base, so he's wasting space and even walls to have it. Let's talk about the buildings he's getting with the Acropolis. He's getting all of his 3 tank depots and even the both bunkers. Also the command post. Yeah, so most, and also some garrisons, I think. So most of all of his buildings he's getting, and the most important ones, like the tank depots, he is getting. So pretty good location of the Acropolis. The Versailles, I don't think that we have to mention, but in my opinion the Versailles is very wasted. It's to the complete outer side. I think even if you would have placed the Versailles down here, it would have a better benefit for your base in defense. But over here, I don't think that there is any benefit. A pretty waste of this very strong defense building. Use of space. We see also many forests remaining. In total, we have more than one complete line remaining for Global Age player. This is below the average. He could invest a little bit more in exploration to gain some more space, because many of his buildings are very close together. But he has also a decent spread out over here of his buildings to make the enemy make more move or have to go far over a huger distance to get to his town center. Bugs using, he is also not upgrading his roads. I think they are also at gunpowder stage, so this base will be much stronger than it looks like only from the level. And I can only tell, guys, just not evaluate a base after its level, look for the defense buildings, but even at some other alliances, which are among the top 100 alliances, I hear and I heard so many players complaining, wow, the level of the base is that high, I can quite not attack, and the level of a base is quite saying nothing about the base. Even at rushing bases, sometimes I have bases at level 130, and they are so completely ridiculous, you can kill them nearly with a medieval offense. But we don't want to talk about Russia. In total, I don't know about this layout. I think it's pretty cool that he is that high in medals and nevertheless not protecting its town center, as same like I did. But at the other way, I very, very don't like the mortar positions. Also, the sniper tower could be a little bit more to the center, but if he is replacing his cannon towers a little bit, rearranging them, and searching better locations for the mortars, probably only over here. If he would have placed his mortars over here, and somewhere over here, this would be a very decent base in my opinion. But with the mortars so far at the outer side, it's pretty donation if you are taking this base, only if you are focusing on the mortars. So in total, I don't know about this base. Some very cool aspects, other aspects are really neglected or not focused on. Yeah, hopefully I could help you. Let's go on to the next co-leader, I think. Here we are at Slava. Okay, Atomic Age player. Interesting. So also resource protection layout. We see town center is exposed to the outer side. And I'm not pretty sure, but this layout actually is very, very reminding me actually to Matt. I don't know whether you know him, also famous YouTuber from Estonia. And I can't quite remember how Matt's base looked like, but it was some months ago when I scouted him to see his upgrade stages and his preferences, and then I also saw this base layout, and I think this is nearly 90% same or equal to Matt's base, which is pretty funny, especially these houses over here, and the sniper towers and the mortars looks like Matt's base, but no matter in total, it makes no sense to compare them. We are at this base, so let us rate the base. Resource protection, where we have the location of the resource buildings. We have 1 market, 2 markets, 3 markets. 2 of them to the very center, 1 a little bit more exposed, but the location is very good. 1 chamber, another chamber, another chamber. Also another all 3 mills are also separated from another. Then we have the oil separated, and then we have the trade goods separated. So in total, I think, yeah, you can't get any better separation of your resource buildings, because you have to crash 1 wall each if you are not hitting the connecting points to get to every or to all resource buildings. That's very strong, I think. Wow, I definitely like this aspect about the space. The spread out, but the spread out is pretty sad. So if you are attacking from down here, you can get 2 mills. So 66%, probably he's an active player, so most of his resources are in his mills. You can get very easy. I think even industrial players can get 66% of all of his food if they are attacking from over here, nearly also without any use of tactics. So yeah, the location is very good. The spread out is not that good actually. Then we have the Rusher or Maxer. Yeah, we see level 191, which is pretty okay, but this would be only global age, and so we see very many Enlightenment age buildings as well as even gunpowder buildings, and he's atomic age player, so very, very obvious. I think the most obvious rusher for today. Activity index, where are the houses? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 houses. No estate. Okay, again no estate, no problem. We have level 10 walls, and next to the oil level 12, as well as 2 parts of level 13. So for an atomic age player, this are, I don't want to call it poor walls, because that would be some kind of insult, and I don't want to insult, but the walls are definitely below the average. Yeah, nothing more to say about. Defensive buildings, where we have them, we have the mortars, and wow. So guys, over here, I definitely like the mortar positions. The mortar positions in this base are probably perfect, nearly perfect. We have a little bit too much space over here. In my opinion, the perfect mortar positions are very close to the core of the base, and they are so close to each other that they can protect themselves or even protect another mortar, but they are not so close together that you can disable more than one with one sabotage tactic. And we have this actually over here. We have 4 space between the closest mortars, so you cannot disable both at once, and they are very close together, protecting each other, but they are also very far away from the outer side. This mortar you can't reach at all without crashing base walls. This mortar you can only reach from over here, this mortar from here and from here, this mortar also from here only. So I definitely very, very like the positions of the mortars. Oh, it's getting very dark, I have to turn on the light. Then we have the compensation of weaknesses. And over here it's nearly perfect, I would call it. Nearly perfect. Yeah, he has 2 of his cannon towers quite an upgrade. So why are they inside the base? But this cannon tower is okay placed. If you are attacking from over here, you cannot get the mortar, but it's a little bit unprotected, slightly unprotected against tanks. Over here, perfect combination. Also very nice combination, also very nice, and I would call it perfect. So the mortar locations and the compensation of weaknesses are one of the strongest locations and combinations I've ever seen. Definitely I like it. Air defenses, where are they? Over here, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we have 4 of them. Industrial basic, industrial max, global age max, which is getting upgraded, and industrial max. The locations are not that good, but I think most of the players are attacking from the town center, but nevertheless, we have a little bit low protection, probably at both of the flanks of the base. Over here we have a very strong air defense at the 12 o'clock, so at the northern part of the base. In total, I don't like the positions of the air defenses because we have a very strong air defense location or area and a very low air defense location. We have some towers over here, yeah, no problem, but if you are using your army from this side, probably the towers will fall very early. So I don't like the air defense locations. The redoubts are placed next to the town center, 2 of them. I think he should have 5. Am I right? I think he have 5 of them in the in the atomic age. 3. Probably I'm blind, but I only see 3 readouts. Yeah, I only see 3. This one is located okay. I would call it okay. It's nearly perfectly in the corner of a base, so enemy troops can run into it over here, but it's very low upgraded, so it's dealing nearly no damage, especially against atomic and global age attackers, which will attack him due to the matchmaking system. He is getting matchmake too. Also, these readouts are ridiculously low. Yeah, in total, nothing special about the readout location. He wants to try to get, or he wants enemy attackers to attack from here to run into the readouts because of spawning town center defenders probably and spawning defenders from behind. So the sense or the intention of placing them here is quite okay, but I don't think that this is that much special or cool. Sniper towers. We have 3 sniper towers and all of them tried to place them at the inner side. Actually, these both are nearly at the core of the base. This one is a little bit separated from them. All are only industrial age basic status, so they are not that much of a threat, especially against higher attackers, but the locations are quite okay. In my opinion, I would not place them so close together. Why are you not taking this sniper tower, for example, and replace it just to the side over here? So you would cover your base a little bit better with all of the sniper towers and makes the enemy not, or gives the enemy not the opportunity to disable all of them, or most of them. No, you can take all of them with one sabotage tactic. Also, what is really funny over here, I recently only recognized, we have gunpowder, Enlightenment Age, Industrial Age, and Global Age. So it's really a row of upgrade where you can see 4 following ages of garrisons. That's pretty cool. I have never seen it before, especially that close and perfectly symmetrically next to each other. World Wonders. We have the Acropolis, we have the Colosseum, we have nothing other. Yeah, we have the Colosseum, the Versailles at least. The Colosseum is placed, I would definitely call it wasted, because he has some very tremendously strong tank depots like the Atomic Age tank depot over here, and he's only boosting some shitty garrisons. Colosseum, sorry guys for this insult, but I think if you have that strong defense and that good base, I would not waste this Acropolis, because the Acropolis has such a strong boost, especially on tank depots, bunkers, and so on, and it's even unable, your enemy attackers are unable to destroy the effect of the Acropolis, even with destroying it. So if you place it very senseful, ordinary, or in general in your base, it's always having its effect, and he is nearly, I'm not pretty sure whether it will affect also the tank depot, but I think the tank depot, probably the bunker, and then four garrisons, and the Colosseum are getting affected, and he's getting only 2 of his 5, or he is in Atomic Age, so he has 4 stables, only 2 of his 6 very interesting buildings for Acropolis, and therefore I would call this location pretty wasted. The Colosseum, you can nearly place it everywhere. If you are not placing it completely to the corner, it's nearly senseful use because of its huge range, approximately over here. The Versailles is slowing troops very much down, and I don't see any senseful use over here. Probably he has seen that many attackers are attacking from over here, but I don't think so. It looks like he has placed it somewhere where he had some space. So in total, the World Wonder locations I don't like at all, especially because of the Acropolis. It's one of my very favorite defense buildings, and he is wasting it. I'm crying. Use of space. He has nearly 1 line of forest to clear. It's not that much, but he could be further. Yeah, in total, I can't say anything about it. He seems to have enough space for his base, so nothing to complain about. Bugs using, he's not using any bugs at all. In total, I can only say the basic structure of this base is very strong. I would improve a little bit the positions probably of the Acropolis, of the air defenses, and probably of the sniper towers. But you could also improve a little bit. For example, the cannon towers getting this cannon tower a little bit more to the inner side. This cannon tower is a little bit more to the outer side, so to protect the mortars better. But in total, I definitely like this base. It seems very strong. Here we are at bro space. And I've already wasted 44 minutes, therefore I will shorten it a little bit up to speed it a little bit up. And because you probably know, at 60 minutes my recording program is getting crazy and doing whatever it wants, so we have to concern that we will definitely be below 1 hour. And so we have over here another resource protection layout. I very like it. The location of the resources at the very center, some gold at the right side and at the exposed left side. Then we have also at the very center, at the core of the base, some food, at the left side some food, and very exposed at the right side. The localization is quite okay. We have one chamber with 2 resource buildings, another chamber. Here we have a chamber, and here we have a chamber with again 2 resource buildings. The storage house, or the trade good house, whatever it's called, is exposed. We have also the command post exposed. Where it is, I meant. Over here is the command post, so also exposed. Yeah, in total the localization is not that bad. The spread out is a little bit bad, because if you're attacking from over here, yeah, there is the Versailles, blah blah, and we have an exposed mortar. But if you are attacking from over here, you can get from outside the walls, just by using a little bit of tactics, mill, and market. And I don't think that this is so sensible. If you are getting inside the walls, you are actually able to get 66% of all of his resources, which is not that strong, I think. Locating some of his markets or mills probably over here could be an intervention. Yeah, so the spread out is not that good. Russia or Maxer, we see, oh, again Atomic Age with level 179. This is definitely a rusher, because most of the buildings are even Industrial Age. Activity Index 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Thank you for placing all the houses next to another, so I don't have to search forever. Yo, 8 houses. 8 houses, no estate. So 8 houses to upgrade the walls. Atomic Age player with level 9 walls, definitely. And level 10, yeah. And 2 walls at level 11. But in total, level 9 and even level 8 walls is definitely below every average. I would definitely invest in your walls. Otherwise, your base will be crashed by Atomic Age players like a fly. Defensive buildings, where we have the mortars. We have one mortar a little bit to the core, one mortar at the nearly perfect core, one mortar a little bit exposed, and one mortar very exposed. In total, I think these both mortars are fairly good protected. These both mortars are weak protected. The cannon towers, this cannon tower is perfectly located, I think. This one is okay located. We have no protection from over here and over here. This mortar is very perfectly protected by even 2 cannon towers, and this one is completely not protected. In total, this does not make very much sense to me, why to protect some of them that good, and why to not protect some others of them. Air defenses, one over here, industrial, one global max, upgrading to atomic. At the outer side, I'm not pretty sure whether he placed it outside to upgrade or whether not. Or whether it's all the way, always staying outside. And we have one atomic global air defense very outside behind his town center. He's at a very low metal range, so I don't see any... Ah, okay, he has his Acropolis over here. Therefore, probably he's protecting his tank depots and tank defenders with the air defense. Otherwise, I had no clue why to place it over here. In total, I think we have a weak point of no air defense over here, but these air defenses are fairly good positioned or located, so the air defense is not that bad at the base. Readouts, we have one redoubt over here. I don't see any sense why placing it over here. This one is just only to fill a gap, no sense in total, or a sense which is not obvious to me. Also, no sense in total, so I think we don't have to talk about the readouts. They are also same over here. They are only here to be here. They have no sense. Bunkers over here at the very core of the base, and one bunker a little bit exposed. This bunker actually is good. protected by another cannon tower, and this one is completely unprotected. So sneak an enemy tank and feel free to get the resources and to destroy the base from the inner side. Not that good if you are asking me. Sniper towers, we should have 3 ones. Yeah, 1, 2, 3. One at the inner side, nearly center of the base, one exposed to the left, and one behind the town center. One behind the town center, if you have 3 of them, you can just throw around with them like a Puff Daddy in the club. But I think 2 of them should be located decent in the center of the base, and I don't understand why this one is so exponated and so wasted. I would try to locate it more to the center, but otherwise you can't complain about this sniper